I mean, The View has to be, if you average out The View hosts, among the dumbest people on television. And so it's like they say the thing that people are thinking, but they say it very directly, so they expose whatever truth. But
I don't think some of them are dumb.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think Sunny Hostin.
You think it's deliberate?
I think she's ideologically driven, and they have blinders on, for sure. I don't think Sunny's dumb. But Whoopi is certainly not the brightest person. And what she just said just doesn't make any sense.
Picture this, Whoopi Goldberg strolling onto The View set like she owns the place, ready to dish out one of her dramatic lectures like it's gospel. But just minutes in, boom. Joe Rogan and Megyn Kelly hit the scene like a wrecking crew with no chill. Joe came swinging with those no-filter jabs, dropping truth bombs like it's leg day at the podcast gym.
Do you see what Whoopi Goldberg said?
What'd she say?
Whoopi Goldberg said that Biden could arrest all the Republicans and put them in jail. You just need to see how unhinged this kind of thinking is. Well, you know what Joe Biden could do? Joe Biden, you have to see it. Because it's so
on TV.
crazy.
She said
it's on television.
And Megyn? She wasn't holding back either, cutting through the nonsense with sniper-level precision. Whoopi's trademark eye rolls suddenly started looking more like panic blinks. The sass, gone. The confidence, missing in action. It was like she showed up to a heavyweight brawl with a salad fork. This wasn't just a debate, it was a full-on roast session, and Whoopi was the main course. So what exactly did they say that had her wishing someone would just pull the plug on the cameras? Oh, you're gonna want to hear this. See, Whoopi's been riding the rebellious sister act wave for decades, but now she somehow ended up as The View's unofficial queen of gaslighting. One moment she's cracking flat jokes, the next she's fumbling through politics, medicine, and culture, like she's still using dial-up internet. It's like watching someone try to lead a TED Talk with nothing but vibes and reruns of Dr. Oz. No facts, no receipts, just a hot mess with a mic.
Whoopi Goldberg was angry when Alyssa pointed out that Trump went to the funeral of Officer Diller.
Yes.
On Long Island, and Joe Biden went to a podcast. Look at Whoopi Goldberg's reaction.
Choose what you like there, but for Republicans, it was good imagery.
Really?
One day later, yes.
And I'm asking that because I was so offended because you know who showed up.
Yeah.
And he was, whether he was asked or not. This is a man who didn't care what happened to the officers on January 6th.
She promotes Joe Biden and Kamala Harris every day on that show. Trump wasn't supportive enough of the cops who were, yes, in danger on J 6th. How does that explain their behavior on a daily basis?
At this point in her career, you'd think Whoopi would be giving TED Talks on how to enjoy early retirement, or at least how to gracefully bow out, but nope. Instead, she's clinging to that spotlight like it's a lifeline, blasting her takes at full volume, even when nobody asked and the mic ain't even turned on. But here's where it gets delicious. Joe Rogan and Megyn Kelly didn't just call her out, they polished her ego, then dropped it straight in the trash. And they did it not with fire and fury, but with that cold, calm shade that stings way more. Not a debate, not a showdown, just a casual surgical takedown with a side of, we expected more. That's the kind of dismissal that doesn't just hurt, it haunts. They didn't yell, they didn't clown her. They just looked at the mess, shrugged, and said, really? This is what you brought to the table? See Whoopi's version of intellectual debate? It's like flipping through a crumpled People magazine and pretending it's a political science degree. She talks like she's got the answers, but it's all confidence with no compass. Wild hand gestures, half-remembered headlines, and ghostly references to smarter people who clearly left the chat long ago. It's not that she's always wrong, it's that she's never all the way right. Her facts are like mystery socks after laundry day. You think they're a pair until you look closer and realize something's definitely missing.
Whoopi Goldberg's, like, did you see what she did to that Staten Island bakery?
Yeah.
No.
Crazy.
What?
So Staten Island Bakery, their boiler went down, and she placed an order of cupcakes for her birthday. And they couldn't do the order.
Hold on. I can't imagine yet how this would go bad. Okay, go ahead.
So she places this order. They say, we can't promise you that we can do this because our boiler is down. So we can't fulfill this order. And so then the next day, the boiler's back up. She has someone else call the same bakery, and they get the order in because now the boiler's up. She claims the reason why they didn't take her order is because they didn't like her politics.
And then there's the confidence. Not just any confidence, but nuclear grade, bulletproof, cartoon level confidence from someone whose biggest political credential is voicing a hyena in The Lion King. Yep, Whoopi really seems to believe that her animated side gig qualifies her to dissect constitutional law on national TV. It's like watching your aunt who just got on Twitter last week trying to explain Bitcoin after 2 glasses of boxed red wine and a motivational meme. Sure, she's passionate, but coherent. Only if you slow it down to half speed and play it in reverse under moonlight. But here's the real kicker. Rogan and Meghan didn't even raise their voices. There was no shouting match, no dramatic finger pointing. They handled it with that quiet, savage energy that cuts deeper than any insult. Just 2 pros lighting a rhetorical bonfire under daytime TV's self-appointed philosopher queen. And she didn't even smell the smoke.
She says this on The View. So then the bakery has a press conference where they say, we've been in business for 150 years. This is not what happened at all. We don't discriminate against anybody regardless of anything. We just had a problem with our boiler, and she's singling out a family-run business, and then there's a line around the block for the bakery.
While Whoopi was still caught mid-rant, recycling half-baked facts she probably screenshotted from a meme her cousin sent her back in 2019. Joe Rogan came through with his signature combo of Jim Bro wisdom and stoner philosopher chill. He doesn't yell, he just drops casual logic bombs like a dude who accidentally read a peer-reviewed article and can't stop bringing it up between sets. But here's the twist. Sometimes that common sense swagger hits like truth from the mountaintop. And then there's Megyn Kelly. She didn't need volume or drama. She just sliced through the fluff like steel through butter. She's basically the human version of surgical grade scissors. Sleek, sharp, and absolutely lethal when the room's full of soft takes. While Whoopi was rambling, Megyn was dissecting. That's not just a mismatch, it's a massacre in slow motion. While Whoopi leaned all the way into I feel like this is true energy, Megyn Kelly wasn't having it. She hit back with, let me read the actual law while you work on your vibes, ma'am. No yelling, no dramatic gestures, just cold, hard facts, a working memory, and the rare ability to speak in full sentences with punctuation. That alone put her miles ahead in the battle of brains versus buzzwords. Whoopi, as always, tried to cosplay as a policy expert, perched on her throne of moral superiority like a flamingo caught mid-squat in a snowstorm. Dramatic? Yes. Graceful? Not even close. And the fact she was clinging to might as well have been scribbled in crayon on a wet napkin. It had the structural integrity of soggy paper, but she powered through like a discount tank running on old AA batteries. She thought she was dropping truth bombs, when really she was tossing damp Pop-Tarts into a Category 5 hurricane.
Donald Trump will be sworn in as the 47th president of the United States, yay, on January 20th of this month. Not everyone's happy about it, and many people would like us to be more focused on the insurrection that he personally unleashed, if you ask them. As we discussed earlier, they think it's as bad as like the Holocaust, and you don't have to take my word for it. Here is Sunny Hostin.
January 6th was an atrocity. It was one of the worst moments in American history. And when you think about the worst moments in American history, like World War II, things that happened, like the Holocaust, chattel slavery.
Yeah, the January 6th is right up there next to the Holocaust and slavery.
The best part? Rogan and Megyn didn't even bother addressing her directly. That's how low effort the takedown was. They weren't debating her. They were debating the idea that Whoopi could ever be considered a serious commentator. Well, which is about as logical as asking a banana to teach algebra. Technically possible in a Dali painting, but in real life, it's just sad comedy with a tragic twist. And bless her heart, Whoopi probably thought she was out there winning, taking a victory lap while everyone else was quietly watching the clown car do donuts in a library. This wasn't a battle, it was a silent roast, and Whoopi brought the lighter fluid all by herself. Whoopi probably walked off that set thinking she spoke her truth, and or whatever half-baked fortune cookie quote The View throws up on their Instagram for engagement. Meanwhile, Megyn Kelly was already 3 interviews deep dissecting real-world policies with surgical precision, and Joe Rogan, he was halfway through a 3-hour rant about alien fungi being more intelligent than most of Hollywood. And honestly, the comparison felt a little too accurate. It's wrong on so many levels, but also painfully right.
Let's look at a scenario where The Supreme Court says, yes, he has that. He has all those rights. He is immune from everything.
Yeah.
You know what Joe Biden could do since he is presently president?
What?
Whoa.